There's always a concern amongst fans when the developer decides it's time to resurrect an old franchise. In the case of Streets of Rage 4, I was skeptical about a new sequel as I didn't want to see the series tarnished. Fortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. Streets of Rage 4 reunites the old cast back together again to take down the children of Mr. X, the mysterious Y syndicate led by Mr. X's children. The Streets of Rage series was never known for its complex storylines, so I'm happy to see that this hasn't changed. Where Streets of Rage 4 does deviate from the formula is the art style and the combat system. The new comic book look fits the game perfectly. Can you imagine if the game had some weird 3D look? That would be gross. Who would ever do anything like that? If you haven't played Streets of Rage before, this game is largely the same as the older ones. You've got 12 stages to blast up enemies, with a boss at the end of each level to keep things nice and difficult. Though you can play on your own, these games are much more fun when played alongside friends. Streets of Rage 4 takes the local multiplayer fun to another level by letting you play with up to 4 players, plus there's a battle mode if you want to prove who's the best fighter. The changes made to the combat system give the game considerably more depth, especially when playing solo. There's a focus on combos this time around now that you can bounce enemies off the walls with powerful attacks. Special attacks are also much more important thanks to their invincibility frames. Unlike the previous games, where players were punished for spamming special attacks by taking away their health, Streets of Rage 4 takes away grey life that can be reclaimed by attacking enemies. You also have the option of a Streets of Rage 1 style super move that can be performed if you are holding a star. I'd recommend disabling the button combination for this move so you don't accidentally waste it like I did a lot of the time. Streets of Rage 4 is made to be played several times over, and that is made very clear by the game's length, which clocked in at around 3 hours. That 3 hours also includes me having to retry a few stages because I ran out of lives. When playing the game cooperatively, things are significantly easier, even with friendly fire attacks on. If your first playthrough of the game is with a friend, don't be surprised to reach the ending within 2 hours. The developers could have made things more tricky for players by having them only play on arcade mode like the older games, but now you actually have to finish the game before unlocking that as an option. I haven't had the chance to try the game online as there was a bug in the review build. I spent my time playing the Steam version of the game, which in theory should be the best place to play Streets of Rage 4. Not only does the Steam version feature 2-player co-op online, but you also have the option to use remote play, giving you access to 4-player local co-op. If you're looking for a cheap way to play, Streets of Rage 4 is heading to Xbox Game Pass. It's important to note that the PC version of Game Pass is incompatible with the Steam version, so keep that in mind before attempting to play online with your friends. As a Streets of Rage fan, this game is more than I could ever have asked for. Streets of Rage 4 brought together all the things that made the series special, but made enough tweaks to improve the gameplay. I had almost as much fun playing this game on my own compared to co-op thanks to the changes to the combat system, and that's something I couldn't say about the other 3 games. Streets of Rage 4 is on the same level as Sonic Mania. It's the perfect sequel to a series that I always wanted, but never thought we'd get. And that's it for this review, lads. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe because it really helps. Also, do a podcast every Sunday with Emma from PC Gamer, it's great. Also, I stream very rarely, it's great. Check it out on Twitch. And we'll catch you in the next one, innit? Bye!
Play all.